Hello everyone, my name is Samantha. Welcome to my art channel. So in this video today, I am going to try to show a process of me doing a painting. So I'm doing a whole series of acrylic paintings on canvas, and the next one I'm going to do is a tiger. I thought I'd do a little video that just sort of shows my scattered process of how I do a painting. Yeah, so that's what I'll try and show you today. These are the other two that I've already finished. So I've got a pangolin here and a cheetah here. This series is called Vanish to Stars, and it's basically just bringing awareness to very endangered animals all across the world. What I like to do is collect my references. I have used Pixabay and Unsplash because they're royalty free, of course. But when I do my collection of references, which is usually quite fun, I like finding all the different pictures and angles and things that I like. I have at least this many pictures, and what I'll do is I'll pick apart from each one that I like. So if it's a certain pattern, I'll just pick that and try and add them all together. So one might have the right angle that I want, one might have eyes that I like or lighting. It'll be a blend of multiple ones, and that's usually how I do my reference collection. Okay, so I have a very messy thumbnail sketch to go off. Well, take this with a pinch of salt. This is the one that I'm planning here, and so basically the right side of the tiger's face is disappearing into the nebula this time. This is a very weak thumbnail, but it's enough for me to get the idea of what I want on the canvas. The next step really is to draw the outline. So I tend to just use a pencil. I've got a very basic B sketching pencil, and I will very lightly just try to get the tiger's basic shape, similar to how I've done it in my little thumbnail. On my first attempt, I think I drew the cheetah and then I went around it with the background first and only pushed in the colours of the nebula just into the drawing. On the pangolin, I believe I covered the entire thing in black and did the black and the nebula first and then drew the pangolin on top. So actually at the moment I'm still not 100% sure which way I'm going to do this. I'm just deciding. I think maybe because the tiger is quite a bright creature, maybe I won't do the background first, and I might set up where I'm going to be painting, and then when I paint the background in, I'll just be careful, and then even if it covers up some of the pencil lines that I've done, it'll be fine, hopefully. Okay, so I think I've got the base done now. I've literally just sketched it with with a pencil straight onto the canvas, and I was just looking at specific parts and repeating features. That's one of the main things you've got to look for, is what's repeating, basically. They all seem to have the same pattern here. They've got the same dot on the ear. I wasn't sure which way around to do the ear, actually, so I think I liked seeing the dot because it's quite a distinctive thing for a tiger. I've added that in rather than have the ear facing forwards. It's going back slightly. The mood I'm going for is kind of sad in a way, so because he's disappearing into the nebula, so a little bit less alert and not fully focused on what's going on, sort of thing. So his ears are back. So what I'll do is some of these stripes here, like the very big obvious dark stripes, I'm going to go like this and blend it out. The eye, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with that. I might make that see-through and make it into a star potentially, because I still want it obvious that it's a tiger, so if there is no eye here or something representing an eye, it might look a bit strange. So I'll figure that out and maybe do a cloud in the shape of an eye and put the eye in the middle, something like that, we'll see. And then I've got the scary part now, which will be getting the paint and do the background. So I'll be doing black basically all around the edges, especially in the corners, mostly dark there for the black sort of nebula, and then slowly blending in with a big brush. That is the plan. The fun part would be selecting some colours, which I always love doing that. Of course, we need white and black. Most likely, most of these oranges, to be honest. This is a good one. Actually, that one's quite good. Select those. Definitely going to need some sort of brown. The background as well, I think for this nebula, I'm going to do a mix of brown and orange. Not brown and orange. I'm going to do a mixture of orange and blue. So something like this real nebula. So I'll try and pick some kind of blue that will stand out. I mean, this is pretty good. That's a good one as well. I feel as though I need some sort of red in this mix. That should be the right sort of colours. Okay, so that is most of the background done. That was the hard part, just getting paint onto a blank canvas. Even with a sketch there, just getting the paint on is quite scary, and you think you're going to make a mistake, but you have to push through that and just get the paint on there. I'm not 100% happy with this white part here. I was thinking maybe it was kind of behind him, but then I don't want it to just seem like it's a floating head. I need it to feel like the whole creature has disappeared. So I might bring some of the red parts and the orange parts and brown parts down here like this, just to kind of blend that in. That might look a little bit nicer. But yeah, that was the hard part anyway, just getting that done. I also cleaned my palette because it was a state. That was from several paintings, so I hadn't actually done it yet. So I cleaned it, and actually it cleaned up really nice. So yeah, next step will be smaller brushes now, starting in the details really. I tend to paint a little bit more like I'm drawing. Most people would advise that you do dark colours last, light colours first. I'm more like, I've already got the lines, so I'm going to sort of fill in some darker contrast things. So I probably am going to go straight into black paint and do the edges of the eyes and start putting in the stripes and things, just so I've got that there, and then start building up the colours of the actual fur. And we'll see where we go. So I might do a little time lapse of that next part. Okay, so this is how far I've got, as you've seen in the time lapse, and we're very, very close to being finished. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it might be the best one I've done. I'm not quite finished yet, of course, so I need to do go over these whiskers again. And then obviously I've got all the stars to do, so I do the stars manually. I know some people do a flick thing to get stars, speckles on, you know, starscape type things. I see I've tried the flick thing before and little bits come off and stuff, and it's not circular and things, so it's just a little bit too unpredictable. So I'll manually go in and start placing dots, and I think I'll do a few more highlights in like the nebula clouds and things. But yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with how it's gone. So yeah, I'll do a summary once I've actually completed it. I'll do a little summary at the end. Okay, and here is the finished painting. I am fairly happy with it. It's pretty close to what I had imagined when I came up with the idea. So yeah, I think it fits in with the rest of the series. But yeah, anything that I've learned, I mean, I had some good practice with whiskers. I mean, I did obviously whiskers already on this one, but it was good practice to do it again. I quite enjoyed doing this painting, as tigers are obviously they're beautiful animals, and so they're quite a striking animal to paint. And even when it was just the sketch, it was already showing up as, like, you can clearly see it was a tiger, and the vision was there. I quite like how the stars turned out on this one as well. Obviously, the more I do them, the more I should be getting better at practicing them. The eye turning blue, that was made up on the fly. I knew that I would use a shine of a star to be in the centre of his eye. I knew I was going to do that. I think in my head I'd imagined just more like the blackness of space was going to be there, and then something just told me that as I was blending in all this blue anyway, I thought, hang on, I could actually just make his eye turn blue as well. So it's like it's not really there, it's sort of like you're starting to see through, and that's why I put all these stars in. I added stars in some of the stripes as well. Overall, I'm not actually sure how long this took me. This is obviously a few days later. When I check back my footage and my time lapses, I should be able to figure out how long I actually spent on this. But yeah, I'll check and might put it in. If I can figure it out, I'll add it into the YouTube description. So the next step is actually varnishing. I think I might do a separate video where I show how I varnish these, and just keep this video to being just producing a painting from start to finish, and that's what I've got here. The next step would be this isolation coat, and then once that's dry, I use a matte UV varnish on top, and that's the proper sealing coat. I prefer matte varnish. I know there's lots of lovely videos and effects where they show you putting the varnish on. It kind of makes the painting look more colourful. However, I don't like the look of shiny stuff. It's hard to look at. Even with prints, I'm doing matte prints because half the time you can't see them. You can't see the art. So all of these have been done in matte, and I don't think it makes the vibrancy of the colours any less vibrant. I think it looks fine. And yeah, the benefit is being able to view the piece of art from all angles. So thank you very much for watching this whole video. I hope seeing this whole process has helped in some way. If you'd like to see more, please follow along on my art journey. Yeah, please subscribe if you want to see more art-related videos. So thank you very much.